Do you ever feel like you're hiding your authentic self? Not saying what you really think, projecting a fake image around others, and not saying your truth because it doesn't seem to line up with everyone else. Maybe you feel that way often, maybe every day. It's something we all experience from time to time, and it usually starts very early in life. Often, without even realizing it, we hide our authentic selves. We perform because we don't want to be judged, excluded, or seen as different. We're terrified of what other people will think if they uncover the real us. So we find ourselves acting, playing a part, and no one even teaches us to do this. Do you want to know something wild? People's biggest fear isn't death, it's public speaking. Why? Because judgment and humiliation can feel like a painful death that we experience over and over. And we know people are always judging, since we do it too. In my opinion, hiding our true authentic self is like sacrificing or killing an essential part of ourselves. Often we do this to fit in, or because we're told to behave in a certain way. We begin hiding behind a mask and concealing our true self. And not only do we do this, we actually feel like we're doing the right thing. Everybody does it, right? But what would happen if we decided to remove the mask and just be ourselves? I believe we would discover that being our true selves is the simplest and the most difficult thing we'll ever do. Even though it can be hard to acknowledge, we all have light and dark inside of us, good and bad. And just because we have darkness, that doesn't mean we have to act on it. Some people call this the shadow self, and it's very common to reject, shame, and conceal our shadow. But I believe that living authentically and being our true selves means accepting our shadow and making peace with both the light and dark inside of us. In my opinion, not judging our flaws, but embracing them and letting people see our failures and flaws is a heroic act. When we're suppressing our true selves and refusing to be authentic, we start to get signals. We might be mad, sad, depressed, frustrated, or might feel out of control. Our body is crying out.
The body has many ways of saying no. Almost any symptom, a stomachache, a back spasm, a headache, nausea, dry mouth, poor sleep, muscle tension. I'm talking about relatively minor symptoms. These are all ways of the body saying no.
Is your body saying no? Most of us have been hiding for so long that we can't even remember when it started. Maybe we said something we thought was stupid, or had certain behaviors that other people disliked. It could be that we talked too much or didn't talk enough. But who told you that being that way was wrong in the first place? And how do you know that they were right? There are so many people with so many opinions. Wouldn't it be easier to trust yourself and act out of your true identity and essence instead of trying to be accepted by others? Wouldn't it be easier to love and accept yourself instead of searching for acceptance and love outside of you? What if we accepted and acknowledged both the light and shadow inside of us? What would happen if we could stop the endless search for outward approval and filled the voids in our lives by deciding to love and accept ourselves exactly as we are?
If you're not in touch with that inner voice, if you don't hear it, the body will speak to you loud and clear. You're going to get something happen to you. And sometimes that'll happen in the form of illness or symptoms. Then the body's talking to you. The body's saying no when you're not saying no.
We all struggle to find the right balance between relational connection and living authentically. I know it's tempting to look to the outside world for validation and acceptance. And it's true that if you live as your authentic self, you could lose the approval or companionship of some people. But why would you want to stay surrounded by friends of your false self? You will never know if they love the real you. If you remove the mask and start operating out of your true identity, you will attract the people you are always meant to find. The ones who appreciate you for exactly who you are. And then, your relationships will be deep and meaningful without the need for lies, deception, and masks to keep people around. When we live out of our authentic selves, we can begin to heal mentally, emotionally, and physically. We feel more alive, more enthusiastic, and more creative. In this state of being, we can better connect with people because we aren't hiding, performing, or shrinking back. In this state, we achieve both connection and authenticity. And if someone doesn't approve of your authentic self, who cares? You have made peace with your flaws and your darkness, and you no longer reject those parts of yourself. When we accept our light and our darkness, we can serve as an inspiration for people who feel stuck repeating the cycles of people-pleasing and self-rejection. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to rediscover your neglected, rejected, authentic self and nurse it back to life through acceptance, love, and kindness. Accept and love yourself just as you are. What are you waiting for?